Let's go. Jack Bech joining Power Hour LSU, Pressley Collection, first conversation of hopefully many. And Jack Bech, how are you, man? How is your life going? What has your day been like today, my friend?
Yeah, life is going good. We just had lift and meetings today to get ready for spring practice number 3 tomorrow. So I'm really excited about it. How have you been?
I'm fantastic, man. And look, this is something that we've talked about on this channel for quite some time, how much we love watching you play football. So, what you did last year and what you're growing now going into next year, I'm so excited to see you along with everyone else on this channel, Jack.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
go,
gonna be a lot of fun
baby.
for sure. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm really excited about next year for sure.
JB80 hanging out with us on behalf of the Pressley Collection. We're going to tell you all about the diamonds and all the different projects we have going on, plus some giveaways that we're going to be doing with the Pressley Collection here on PHL with Jack Bech. And Jack, just right off the top, obviously the big thing that everyone wants to know is what has life been like with a new coach, Brian Kelly? Give us a little bit of a behind the scenes of what you've seen compared to last year to this year.
Yeah, a lot has changed, obviously, with the whole new coaching change. Basically, a whole new staff, minus 2, 3 people maybe in the whole building. Um, but no, it's been awesome. I've only been with Coach Kelly for about what 3 months, I think, something
Right.
like that. Maybe not even somewhere around those lines. I already love him. I already love the staff he's brought in, and I can already tell, like, that things are going to be different. I've said a lot in different interviews. Accountability is a big thing. Grit is a huge thing. Doing things a lot of other people don't want to do. We're out there doing it. If it were easy, everybody would do it. That's one big thing that they built into our brains. And yeah, just accountability, picking up your teammates when not everybody's around. Maybe it's just you and your friend, thinking properly and doing things the right way. Just a bunch of things like that, which I think is going to help us in the long run become, a national caliber football team.
And it's very interesting. We learned this week about the SWAT team. The SWAT
Hmm.
team accountability, Jack. That just gets people excited. So let people know it's a strange thing, right? With the point system, and
Hmm.
you got to do your job off the field so we can get this team to the next level. Give us what Brian is doing as far as accountability is concerned.
Yeah, so he made, basically he picked 10 people to pick and to draft these teams. So these 10 people drafted their teams, um, and basically what it is instead of the coaches being real involved with it, even though they are, obviously, it puts a lot of stress on the players, like within the team, to build and grow with each other, and to also be able to like hold each other accountable. Like we have a thing called a wellness check that's due every day at noon. And we want everybody to be green, like the whole team to submit their wellness form. And if you see somebody on your team that hasn't done it yet and it's 11:30, you call them, just like a little piece of it. But not only the person at the top of the leader, it can be whoever on the whole team. It's just everybody holds everybody accountable. Meal checks, taking all your vitamins, just different things like that, where our coach is really helping us, like, as players, build and grow, but also like hold each other accountable and us be able to take that next step into evolving as people and humans.
Jack Denny Girl, one of your biggest fans here, uh, asking you, are you enjoying this change? Has this been one of your favorite changes compared to last year to this year? And was there a little bit of a lack of accountability last year once things started to fall off the rails there?
Um, yeah, I mean, change is necessary. Change is necessary to grow. If you go look back at a lot of things, you have to change some things to be successful. You have to change the way you do things. And I think it was, I don't know if it was, I think it was maybe needed, just so we could take that next step, like I said earlier. But yeah, there is a lot of change that has been going on, from the way the old staff, the new staff has done a lot of things, which I don't want to get into that much, just because, it's a brand new year. All that stuff is kind of in the past, but it's been awesome.
Right.
Everybody on the staff, everybody is so enthusiastic. Everybody wants to be there. We want to win. We want to work. We want to do more and more. And this is just spring ball, but I'm excited to see how this finishes, how the summer goes, fall ball, and then to get into the season.
Jack, I don't know if you feel this. There's a little tingle inside of my chest, man. You're getting me excited, baby. And I love it hearing it from you. Right. So there was a guy that's on your campus. I think you've heard of this guy before, Tyron Matthew, right? And he kind of became the leader of the team in 2011 as a true sophomore. We saw this with Devin White. He kind of became a leader of the team as a true sophomore. We saw it last year with Kayshon, and now you're going into your true sophomore season. Do you feel something inside of you knowing what you did as a true freshman going into this year, now that you've kind of established yourself as someone that people can really rely on? Are you putting yourself more into a leadership position going into 2022?
I feel like that's not really something for me to say. I feel like that'd be kind of something for, I guess, my teammates and my coaches to say. Kind of like,
Nice.
I feel like a lot of people have stepped up and have started like taking ownership of that leadership role. And I think one thing Coach Kelly and them are trying to build on is that persona where it's not just one person leading, where it's you have like a bunch of guys leading, a bunch of guys always doing the right thing, a bunch of guys always leading by example and doing things like that. So I think, like I said, more of a coaches and player standpoint, not mine to say about the leadership role. Like obviously I love leading people to do the right thing, and obviously like I would love leading the team to victories and stuff like that. But I think it's going to be way more. I think it's going to be multiple people, not just one.
Right. I want to bring this up really quickly. Just a quick clip here. Brian Kelly here talking about Jack Bech going into next year.
I'd say first and foremost, his confidence level is his mental, approach to the game is like a senior. He understands the difference between, a preparation mindset and a performance mindset. Like when he prepares, he knows how to prepare, but when it's time to perform, it's a totally different level. That's a rare attribute, and you don't see it a lot. I've seen it in only some high-level NFL guys that have played for me. It's a unique trait that he has.
That's cool stuff, Jack. Were you able to hear that? I wanted to make sure you heard that audio from Brian Kelly. And if you did, how does that make you feel?
Yeah, no, it just makes you feel good, but at the same time, we still got a lot of work left. And they haven't seen me much on the field except for film, so now it's time to really, I guess, make that statement come to fruition and really show them in the field, what I can do, what my teammates can do, and what we all can do.
PressleyCollection.com, hanging out here with Jack Bech tonight. We're going to talk a little bit more about what Pressley Collection has going on with PHL and with Jack a little bit later. But what I want to do, Jack, is give people a little bit of a background on your story. And it's really cool now because part of the title of today's video is Walker Howard's arrival to LSU. How does that make you feel seeing your lifelong friend finally suiting up for the Tigers and you guys getting to live this dream together?
It's awesome. It truly is like a childhood dream coming true. Like if you go look back at if you go find a picture of me and Walker from 10 years ago, we both had one LSU jerseys. Or if you go look back at, like different pictures of us from young ages, we have one LSU shirts. Obviously, his dad played, my uncle played here. Two of my uncles played here. But yeah, it's crazy how things come full circle. We've gone through a lot, but it really is just awesome, weird at the same time, seeing them every day. It doesn't feel real sometimes, but yeah, just definitely a real life childhood dream coming true. We've always talked about being here together. Obviously not knowing what the future would hold or any of that, but now we're here and we're living it. Now we just got to do it.
And it's so crazy, right? Because his dad played at LSU and you've had your own family members play at LSU. And I told you there was going to be a little bit of surprise here. I actually have your dad's or your uncle's rookie card right here. Brett Bech,
that's crazy.
New Orleans Saints.
How did you get that?
Well,
that's incredible.
That's
crazy.
So here's the thing, Jack. This is a big thing on our channel. We give out cards. That's something that we do here. So I feel like you are deserving of this Brett Bech rookie card. So PHL Nation, it's not just me. We're all sending this to you. Every single person on this channel is a fan of yours. So while it says my card to you, you sharing all this knowledge and hanging out with us is a big blessing for all of us, because we've had Jeremy Hill on here, we've had Justin Vincent on here, we've had a lot of really cool players on here, but having a present player is really cool and getting to learn more about you. So what is that like, knowing that the dads and the uncles have that connection? Have those guys given both of you guys any advice as you guys move forward in your careers?
Yeah, just to soak it all in, that, it goes quick. Just as it came quick and it goes quick. Really just soaking every moment. And whenever you're out there, really appreciate what you're doing and what the game of football has done for you and where it has taken you. Because, the game of football it really is a special thing, what it can do for you, what it did for them. But yeah, they just tell us to soak it all in, live life in the moment, and just be grateful that you're doing it and you're doing it with your best friend.
That's so good right there. And, Cliff wants to ask, do you view yourself more of a tight end or a wide receiver? One thing I'll say, Jack, is you're blocking. You said in an interview that you had never blocked before. And we do film studies on this channel, and your blocking was pretty physical. I remember that first Central Michigan or first down where you just chip some guy and then you're able to pick up the first down. And that was more of a tight end role. But do you like that tight end role, or do you view yourself more of a wide receiver?
So obviously all throughout high school, I played receiver. And actually one of my favorite things in high school at the receiver position was like the blocking aspect of it. Obviously I love scoring touchdowns and catching balls, but I also love blocking just one-on-one on the perimeter. It's you and him. Nobody else is coming mess with y'all. It's just uno v uno, which I love. But yeah, whenever I got here, it was obviously a different type of blocking. It was like slicing. It was like from like a lower stance coming firing up, just not like an upper body combat, different things like that. It was definitely different, but honestly, I kind of liked it. It was cool, but at the same time, I feel like I'm more of a true receiver, not a tight end. But it was fun while we did it. But I think I'm going to be just more of a receiver this year. But no, it was cool. It was all right getting down and blocking some of those big DNs. Sometimes going slice across the line and getting physical with them. But yeah, definitely my love of the game is at the wide receiver position, catching balls and doing things like that. So definitely I would say more of a wide receiver.
I love it. Big
And I also
things.
saw something about the Blue Store at the bottom.
Yeah.
I would have to say the Blue Store is like probably one of my favorite restaurants in Baton Rouge. Their fried chicken and fried rice is, I don't know if many places can compare to it.
Jack gets down with it. I like it, man. Blue Store. I love it. Shout out to all the Del Pits and all the great chicken throughout South Louisiana, man. And Nurse Court Super Chat, she's actually one of your biggest fans. Her avatar has been a photo of you for God knows how long. So she absolutely adores you. So this is something I wanted to do with you, Jack. I told you that I wanted to talk a lot of ball with you. Let's throw it back. Let's rewind the tape. Okay, so this was like a big thing for me. This play right here, okay? We're going up against Catholic High, and you see this, and this is just truly insane. Your cleat falls off, and you still are running through people left and right. Do you remember this play?
I remember that play very clearly. Yeah, that play was, I don't know. I mean, I wasn't going to stop because my cleat came off. Like, I had to keep going. And I think my cleat coming off, it lightened me up a little bit, made me a little quicker, a little faster.
Did you notice that the cleat fell off?
Oh, I don't remember that part. I probably did. I mean, you feel that's like running, your shoe comes off. You'll be able to tell if your shoe comes off. So I'm 99.9% sure I knew my cleat came off.
I love it, man. Caucus, LSU is wide receiver. You, as LSU fans, we've seen great wide receiver relationships room. Can you speak to the wide receiver room and the relationships you have together right now? So what is your relationship like with all the leading wide receivers returning to LSU?
Yeah. I don't think there's one wide receiver in the wide receiver room that couldn't be a starter. I think our wide receiver room is deep. I think we have dogs in it. I think we have people that want to be dogs, that have that mentality to just go out and dominate. I think you're going to see a lot of really good things from us this year, and especially from Coach Hankton, our newer wide receiver coach we just got from Georgia. He's a New Orleans native. He loves LSU just like everybody in that room. Like I said earlier, we all want to be here. We all want to compete. We all want to win. And I think we're going to be so good because how deep we are. We're all competing for that spot. I mean, you only can put 3 receivers out there on the first play of the game. I think everybody's really competing for that spot, and I think everybody in that room is special and has their own characteristics that make them special.
Yeah, and that's tough because Cortez, he comes over from Georgia, and he's your new wide receivers coach. And obviously, Jack, what was really interesting about your season, Blake's asked this question. We have a few other people asking this question. What is the difference for you playing the slot and the outside receiver role? And do you have a preference as far as where you like to line up on the field?
I don't really have a preference. Wherever I line up, wherever is where they want me. So, I mean, wherever they put me is where I'm going to go to work and do my thing. I've been in the slot, though, a lot during like this offseason and spring ball practice. But I think we're going to be we put in with every offense. You put in formations that gives the slot receivers chances to be on the outside and gets the outside receivers to be put on the inside for purposes like mismatches. You see something about a defense and know that one kid can maybe read a defense or maybe it's faster up a seam, so you need him to be outside rather than inside. I mean, you want him inside rather than outside. Different things like that. But I don't really have a preference. Like I said, wherever they line me up is where we're going to do it.
So I want to go back to this play right here. Walk us through this Central Michigan touchdown, Jack. This is just insane, man. What's going through your mind when you make this catch?
Well, he was kind of holding my arm a little bit. I mean, I probably could have gone up with 2 for sure, but first touchdown in Tiger Stadium, and you got to make it special, memorable, right? So we were like, let's see if the one-hander would work, and pray to God, and God helped me out a little bit and let me secure the catch and get my feet in.
And look at this guy. I love that. This is crazy.
Yeah, that definitely. Yeah, that was definitely a moment I'll never forget my whole life. That was crazy for sure. Scoring a touchdown in Death Valley is definitely a dream I've always had. To be able to do it like that was definitely pretty cool.
So do you have that ball?
So the way they do it is like they give you, like, I'll get that jersey, I'll get that ball. Like they give it all to you before you leave. As in like whenever like you like are getting drafted or whenever you graduate or like that, they give you like a box of like different things like that.
Pierce says the guy in the back of the end zone is all of us. I freaking love it. How good is it to beat the Florida Gators, Jack Bech?
Well, it's always great beating Florida. That's just a team we hate. We always hate them. We always will hate. So being able to beat them this year was definitely a lot of fun. I can't wait to play them again next year. But yeah, always beating Florida is always a fun time for sure.
Nastiest trash talk you got last year was?
The what?
Nastiest trash talk that a DB or a defensive player gave you last year?
Well, I'm not going to say it on the channel. But no, they definitely – everybody gets a little chirpy out on the field for sure. Yeah, you can't really tell that much, but yeah, definitely a lot of talk is going on in the field. That's under people's breaths or saying it and the camera doesn't catch. But probably definitely some stuff I can't say on camera. But
it's like that.
100% it's like that. Because, I mean, everybody, like, your emotions just take over, and it's such an emotional game. So, I mean, whenever something doesn't go your way, I mean, that's just normal to kind of want to say some stuff that you're feeling or different things like that.
So, Jack, when I played, and once again, I only played in high school, I was oftentimes in the bottom of the pile, and I would get some cheap shots. Does that happen as well?
Not much, because everything is reviewable. So people aren't dumb about it. Like, they're not about to go like try to poke your eye out on national television that can get replayed and zoomed in on all the way. No, that stuff doesn't happen. But now, whenever you're at the bottom of the pile, you can hear definitely a bunch of people saying some things to you for sure, though. But no, not that many things like that.
The Jack Beche dream car from Mr. Turd Ferguson himself. What is your dream ride, Jack?
If I had all the money in the world and I could buy, or if I could just get one car for free, it'd definitely be a Bugatti Veyron. I've always just thought that was the coolest looking car, fast, spacious, looks like a spaceship. And I just always thought that was the coolest car.
So this question that a lot of people want to know, and I'm sure you get asked about it privately, but I don't know if anyone has ever publicly asked you this. How close were you to going to Vanderbilt? Like, what did you have in your mind that you were for sure when you were committed there, that you were all in on going to Nashville?
100%. Because it was pretty late. It was like everything was pretty stagnant. I committed to them. Everything was stagnant until about a month and a half before signing day. Whenever LSU offered me, I didn't expect, and I was just doing my thing, thinking I was going to Vanderbilt. Yeah, and then obviously LSU offered me, and some other schools offered me, and everything fell into place, and I ended up here. But yeah, definitely, I thought just because I wasn't in contact with that many other schools, I was committed to Vanderbilt. I was doing good all season. Before that, I still haven't been getting contact much. It was getting late. So I was like, whatever, I'm going to go to Vanderbilt. I'm going to play in the SEC. I'm going to show all these other SEC schools what they missed out on. So that was definitely the plan. But then, like I said, obviously, everything fell into place.
Right. And do you, a lot of athletes talk about this. Do you always have a chip on your shoulder? Because it did take so long and you were not the highest rated guy.
Definitely. I definitely think there's just a little something that makes you just kind of want to be like, well, for me, I feel like it's always better to prove yourself than to like be at the top and maintain it. You know what I mean? I always like coming from the bottom up. Like I always like being the underdog. I like being at the bottom, people doubting you, saying you can't do this. And then going out and doing it and like shocking people and making people's head turn. And instead of like being at the top and people are like, yeah, he is really good. Like he's gonna be a beast for us. And then you go out and you do that. And obviously you need that. There's people like that through every system. But I just kind of like being at the bottom and coming up and making people's heads turn, different things like that.
So a few spring practice questions here from my guy Blake. Who is standing out so far this spring during these first couple of practices?
Like
as far as not just on the field, but off the field, guys that you see taking a huge step forward or any new transfers that are really popping out at you behind the scenes right now?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like our whole, like everybody's gotten faster, bigger. Like, and I'm really not just saying this. Like, I really think like Coach Flint and his staff, which is our new strength and conditioning coach, like he has transformed a lot of people and have like really made a lot of people look a lot bigger, a lot faster, a lot stronger, more explosive. I think instead of next year you seeing like a couple of kids that you're like, yeah, they really evolved. I think you're going to see like dang near the whole team. You're going to be like, whoa, like this is a way different team. This is like, you know what I mean? I think it's going to be more of a whole thing instead of like a piece by piece thing.
Absolutely. It's interesting. We go to Tyler Super Chat here. As far as Garrett Nussmeier is concerned, you guys had this ridiculous catch. I want to show you this play as well from last year. When he chunked this bad boy up, Jack, my goodness, the toe tap, Jack. What is going on here, man? Look at this. Jack, that's just beautiful, man. You're like a ballerina out there, baby. You got to love it.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool moment too, especially like turning around and being right in the student section. That was definitely that was probably the most like upbeat moment I've had as an LSU football player. But I think probably the coolest moment to me was scoring at Alabama against Alabama. That was definitely probably the coolest moment for me. But definitely the most upbeat and like hype moment was definitely probably that touchdown.
Wow. And what have you seen from Garrett Nussmeier up to this point? That's what
He's
Tyler
been
wants to know.
balling. He looks really good. All our QBs look really good. But yeah, no, Garrett, he's a gunslinger. He has a cannon on him. You know, he can move. You know, he looks really good. And our QB room is stacked right now. Like they're deep. Not only does he look good, all the other three of them look great as well too. So I mean, it's definitely gonna be fun. I'm really excited to see who gets the job.
Coming up in a second, we're going to ask Jack about Jaden Daniels and Miles Brennan. But Jack, what's really interesting is you and Anthony Pressley have teamed up with PHL here. What has this been like for you getting to know Star Pressley and getting to know more about the diamonds and stuff that Anthony has going on with you and PHL?
Yeah, no, Mr. Anthony, he is a great man. Me and him would go have dinner a week or two ago, and he kind of sat me down and explained his ideas he had, the business he runs, different things like that. And he has some awesome ideas. And he actually already has a company called the Pressley Collection that we're looking at now. He has some really fine diamonds. He has some really, really nice stuff like that. He has some really nice, like here, necklaces, bracelets, watches. He has some really, really cool and nice items on his website for purchase, especially some of the diamonds, he has a lot of earrings, different things like that. His stuff is really, really nice, and he's a great man as well. I loved our conversations we had and everything. And yeah, he has some awesome ideas for NIL to help the players and different things like that.
And that's what we're going to be doing here, man. And what's very interesting about you, Jack, is, you wear this jersey number. I put jersey number 80 back here, and you remind me so much of Jarvis Landry and Dwayne Bowe and all the other number 80s before you. But in high school, you wore number 7. So would it be your dream one day to wear number 7 for LSU down the road?
I guess you could ask the question, what kid's dream isn't to wear number 7 for LSU? So, I mean, I guess that kind of answers the question itself. I mean, anybody that plays here wants to, wear number 7 their junior year. So, yeah, that is definitely would be awesome and cool and definitely a goal I'm striving for. But that's something everybody else is also striving for, to be blessed and lucky enough to have it. That would be awesome. Because some of my, like we're talking about Tyron, the different things like that. Tyron he's actually here. And that's him and Odell are like my 2 favorite LSU players ever. So definitely would be cool to follow the legacy and wear 7. I know Odell didn't, but definitely would be cool to wear 7.
There you go. So, Jack, as far as your next step in your career, what are some things, this was very interesting as far as like a day-to-day thing for you. How hard, walk us through a regular Jack Beche day. What time do you get up? And what is your daily regimen like for you?
Yeah, so all freshmen for their first year, we have something called B Club Breakfast Club. So we have tutoring every morning from 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. And then depending on if it's Monday or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'll do tutoring from about 7:30 to 8:30, class from about 8:30 to 9:30, or a class from about 9 to 12. And then from there, we'll have either practice or starting at 3 to about 7 with meetings and all that involved, or workouts from about 3 to 6 with meetings and working out involved. So there's a little downtime in the middle of the day from like 12 to 3, or on like Mondays and Wednesdays from like 10 to 1, something like that. But for the most part, our days are pretty booked until about 7 p.m. And then we get the rest of the night off to just hang out, do some homework, different things like that.
And what was interesting to me is like your social life is, you don't really get to have one all that much as a football player because, if you go out, I mean, you're trying to keep your body focused. You have dreams of one day playing in the NFL, I'm guessing. So it's tough, right? Because, you are Jack Beche and people are hitting you up and people are wanting to hang out. And there's probably people that hadn't talked to you in, in 5 years that are like, hey, Jack, remember me? I'm your grandpa's next door neighbor and I'm your best friend. I bet you it's tough managing having to have like a social life along with being a football player as well. You still there, Jack? Let me see. I think. I don't know what happened to Jack here. I don't know why his stream is cut out. We're going to try and get him back on here in just a second. But if we can't get him back on, once again, that was a great conversation. We're just getting into a few questions about Jaden Daniels. So, yeah, I don't know what happened. We're going to try and get him back on here in just a second. Yeah, I was actually going to ask this one, Tyler. Let's see. Must have the same Wi-Fi as Blake. But yeah, let's see. PressleyCollection.com. What's going on, Dev? Good to see you, my friend. Let's see here. Yes, please hit the like button. Stacy, good to see you as well. So, Ant, good to see you. But yeah, I'll answer as many questions as we possibly can. Let's see if we can get Jack back on here. See. Yeah, I know, Tyler. It's crazy, especially when you're getting like 1,000 different questions at one time. So let's see here. Yeah, Scott. What's funny about this is actually Coach Kelly was cracking a bunch of jokes about Jack as well. There he is right there. What's going on, man?
I guess I'm gonna have to use my phone.
No, it's just fine, man. We won't keep you too much longer, man.
Yeah, I guess because I don't know what happened.
No, it's all good.
Wi-Fi is fine on my computer. I don't know.
No, it's all good, man. But someone asked a question, Jack. As far as Bama week, you guys almost pull off the upset. Did you feel something different leading into that week? You mentioned that game. Was there any extra pressure heading into that game for you?
There wasn't any extra pressure, but at the same time, it doesn't matter if you're Alabama or if you're LSU. You can be 0-8 coming into the game. But if you beat Alabama or if Alabama beats you, like that's one of the biggest rivalries in college football. We hate them. They hate us. So, I mean, everybody, no matter what the circumstances are, if you have 11 players on your team that have to play all the offensive and defensive snaps in the whole game, like you want to beat Alabama. It doesn't matter what it takes or what you have to do it. You just want to come out with a W on top. And you kind of felt that through the week at practice, kind of like, all right, like Alabama, like there's definitely something in the air during that week building up to Alabama that is different for sure.
Jane Daniels, Miles Brennan. What's it been like? Once again, we're still in the very early stages, but what do you like about both of those young men?
Yeah, they're both really fine quarterbacks. Both have really good arms. Obviously, they're both different quarterbacks. One's a pocket passer. One can kind of get out and scramble a little bit more, as everybody knows. But, yeah, it's been a lot of fun catching balls from both of them. And like I said earlier, I'm really excited to see who comes up, whenever the fall comes around, who's taking that first snap game one against Florida State in New Orleans. It's definitely going to be a lot of fun. And how deep our quarterback room is, there's just so much competition, which is making everybody like that much better, which is really good and is going to be very good for our team.
So for you, as Walker Howard, has he asked you any questions about what it's like, what it was going to be like at LSU, and how has he looked up to this point? Once again, I know he's recovering from injury, but have you seen him get acclimated to everything now at LSU?
Yeah, 100%. I think that like taking that college step, coming on a college field, especially in a place like LSU, coming from high school, like you go from a like to a huge Division I Power Five, usually like at the top of college football of the top college football world, almost every year. Like you come to a place like this, um, it's a big step up, but I think he's handled it like very well. I think he's handled it like a pro. I think he's handled it. I think that he has worked really hard to get to where he is, and he's going to keep working hard. And I'm excited for his future and for his career, and I can't wait to be alongside of him with it for it.
Who's the biggest jokester on the team?
The biggest jokester on the team. Let me think. The biggest jokester on the team, probably. I don't really got to think about this one. Caught me off guard. We have
You
lot of
your
people.
time, man.
A lot of people on our team are funny. The biggest jokester, though, the biggest one. I can't even put my name on one. I feel like we have a bunch of people that are always that are hilarious on our team. I can't even put my name on one because that'd be unfair because we have a bunch of people that make everybody laugh a lot.
What about Coach Kelly? I know we've seen him with the dance videos.
Yeah, Coach Kelly is definitely Coach Kelly. I love him. He's awesome. He definitely has a good sense of humor, and I'm excited because he really likes building relationships with his players, which I'm excited about. Definitely, and yeah, as y'all saw, he definitely has a little sense of humor in him. Coming down to South Louisiana from Notre Dame, you've got to, he definitely got a little put a little Cajun in him a little bit, got him dancing a little bit to the music and stuff like that. So no, it's gonna be fun. I'm excited for it.
What have you liked so far? Here's from Max. What have you liked so far from Mike Denbrock, your new offensive coordinator?
Oh, I've liked a lot with him. His schemes and the way he's putting in all these schematic like plays and forms, I think it's going to be awesome. What they love hitting on is getting the ball to the athletes in open space and letting them do what they know how to do best, which I think is a great way to take things. But we're going to be an all-cylinder offense. We're going to be able to run the ball. We're going to be able to throw the ball, protect the ball. We're going to be able to control the tempo. We're also going to have our own tempo. When we want to push it, we're going to push it. When we want to take it down a notch, we're going to take it down a notch and be comfortable. Coach Denbrock has definitely done an amazing job up to this point so far. Like I keep saying about everything else, I can't wait till we keep evolving and growing as an offense and until the season comes.
A few more here for Jack Beche. We talked about your uncles that played at LSU. I got to know a little bit more about your parents a little bit earlier. Very fascinating people, right? And I learned earlier that they're a big source of inspiration. Now, I've personally not been able to speak to them, but what was it like? They were cheering for you, obviously, when you're at St. Thomas More, but now they're in the midst of 90,000 people watching you as well. What has it been like, with this transition going from there to there, and what have they meant to you through it?
Man, they've been a lot to me. Everything they've done for me and blessed me with, without them, I definitely could not be here. But yeah, it's definitely been crazy. Like the transition with all the fans and different things like that. Like there's so many people watching these games. But yeah, no, definitely without my parents and then my uncle, I definitely could not be here without them. They've definitely blessed me and given me a lot. And I've done a lot for me to be here, and I've sacrificed a lot. And I guess all I can do is thank them because no words can really show how grateful I am of that and of them.
What are some of the things that you've had to sacrifice, right, to be the player that you are today?
Yeah, definitely a lot. Like I guess lonely isn't the word, but sometimes like you gotta definitely do things on your own. Like you gotta, when everybody's out doing stuff, you gotta be at home. Just putting yourself away from making bad choices. Or whenever everybody leaves, you gotta stay out there and you gotta work that much longer. You got to be the first one there. You got to be the last one to leave. You have to sacrifice. Definitely time is a huge thing. I mean, in order to be great and get to the goals you want to be, you have to put in the time for it. A lot of people want to say they want to be great, but not that many people want to put in the work to be great. So definitely just going out there, middle of the day, in the middle of the heat, whenever it's the hottest, going out there, running on the field by yourself, up and down the field, or doing stadiums, different things like that, catching balls off a jug machine, or just definitely things like that.
And what are some things specifically that you are trying to do to take your game to the next level next year?
Like I said before, every year I want to get bigger, stronger, faster. I want to evolve and grow in every aspect of the game. I want to be a smarter player. I want to be a more physical player. I just want to take everything I did and make it that much higher. And I want to do that every year and just keep building upon everything. I don't want to work on one thing. I want to work on everything as a whole and completely change and transform.
Well, there you go. Jack Beche hanging out with you. So here's what we're going to do. So Jack, Anthony, and I have been working on some really cool projects with the Pressley Collection. We're just making sure everything is signed, sealed, delivered. What we're going to do is we're going to get Jack back on, and we're actually going to do a giveaway for people that actually, jump on with the Pressley Collection and the diamonds and all the stuff that we have going on there. So Jack, it's really interesting, obviously, with the name, image, and likeness being a part of college athletics. It's kind of hard, right? You didn't think of yourself probably in high school as, being in this opportunity to do these types of things, but obviously with the rules, with college football and all that changing, what has this been like for you, right? Because you're hearing about contracts and hearing about brand and all of that. What has this transition been like for you?
Yeah, everything definitely with the contracts, NIL. It's definitely really cool. I mean, college athletes should be able to get paid, and now we are in that stage of us being able to get paid. I guess you just can't give too much focus on it because at the end of the day, a little money on the side is fun right now, but the real money is in the NFL. So, I mean, you just got to know what the true goal is and stay focused and all that stuff and let that part take care of itself, but really just focus on, what the true goals are.
Jack, there's a lot of young wide receivers, right? I see it. They before the game, they come ask for your autograph and they want to take a photo and all that. What would you say to people out there? And it might be people older than you that going through a tough time right now, that just needs that little bit of motivation. What would you say to all the young guns and all the elder tigers out there, if they're trying to get through some adversity right now?
Yeah, definitely keep pushing. I've definitely been through some adversity in my life. I know Walker has. I know many people have. I guess it's the way you look at things. Everybody, I guess, is tested throughout their life. Everybody has days that are low. You have days that are high, but I guess, stay at a good medium, and know that, I mean, I know not everybody is a Christian or Catholic, but for me, it's always keep God as a big part of everything you do. So definitely just know that, if it hasn't killed you yet, it's not going to kill you now. So, I mean, keep pushing, keep going. And, you can do anything you put your mind to. So if you have a little thing, people are always there for you, there to help. And, yeah, just keep pushing, keep going, and, everything's going to be all right.
Oh, you're a Catholic.
Yes, sir.
There you go. That's cool. My cousin actually is, I might say this wrong, but he's becoming the Archbishop of Kentucky. So they're doing a big thing for him in Louisville, and he was in Homa for a long period of time. And I know how important that is for everyone that practices the Catholic faith, and that's really cool, Jack, because you see it on Twitter, man. You're a very devout religious person. What is that like for you?
It's awesome just knowing, like you have, I guess, God with you. He blesses you with everything you have and gives you everything you have. And for me, it's always, like I said a couple minutes ago, is just always keep him through every decision and just always keep on your side. Never lose focus. Never, just know that he's at the top of everything. Football, family, all that. It's always God first, then family, then football. So definitely always just keep him at the top, and know that he has blessed all of us with, he's blessed me with the gift to be able to play football at a high level. And he's given me, put a dream in my head as a kid, and he's now letting me live it out. So, I mean, all to him.
Yeah, Jack, you probably didn't know this about me beforehand, but man, I'm a huge fan of yours. We talked on the phone last week, and I told you this, and I just freaking love the way you play the game, man. The football IQ, right? That's something that you heard your own coach say that. I go back to the Texas A&M play, 4th and 7, games on the line. I think you were dealing with like a sickness, right? You were hurt or sick, right? Or am I missing out on something there?
I think I was maybe sick that week. I don't really remember though, to be honest.
And it's crazy, right? You didn't have any catches in the game, and that game was such a physical game. 4th and 7, you run right past the sticks, and you're just waving your arms for Max to throw you the ball, and you just make that play. And I could just see it. I watched that play 20 times over, and you just knew that no matter what, I knew I had to get my team 7 yards in that spot. That just means a lot to me because you just had that mindset to just know that I have to get past the sticks and just a little blocks and all the. I mean, I know we only showed the touchdown catches, but you had at least 10 third down conversions on like 3rd and medium. I mean, it was insane.
Yeah, I think it was maybe a couple more than that, but it was definitely something like that. Yeah, definitely 3rd down. I love 3rd downs. Definitely because 3rd downs, I mean, without a 3rd down conversion, unless you're in the red zone, the ball is getting taken away from the offense, and now it's on the defense. So, I mean, definitely 3rd downs for me is a big thing. Always, if the ball's in your hands and the marks are right there, you got to get to them no matter what.
A few quick ones here before I let you go, Jack. Setting on fire DBs on Saturdays and representing on Sunday. I love it. Do you keep in contact with all the other guys? Like, what's interesting is like Texas A&M has Jordan Gilbert out there, and that's a guy that you went up against in high school at U High. So I bet you it's like interesting, to go up against guys that you know.
Oh, definitely. No, me and Jordan definitely talked before the game. We talked back in high school before we played. No, John's my boy. No, it was definitely cool being on the same field with him as a senior and then at the high school level and then a freshman year on a collegiate level. Especially at schools like LSU and A&M, 2 powerhouses. It definitely was pretty cool seeing them after the game and all that.
Have you kept in contact with Eli Ricks?
No. Nope.
Did that hurt your feelings?
Nah. I mean, I'm not even really talking much about that.
He goes going to Alabama. I'll speak on that. That hurt my feelings because I love me some Eli Ricks. But
I love Eli too, but I'm not really gonna get into everything else. But yeah, no, Eli, I definitely loved Eli. He was a hell of a player.
But it just adds a little extra juice going into next year, Jack, because you guys were so close to beating Alabama. You're so close to practically ending their season. So I guess it just adds that little bit of extra motivation. And this is what's really interesting, right? Kayshon. And everyone's looking forward to, Kayshon coming back fully healthy. Have you seen his progression? Because I know he's not being able to play right now. What has that been like for you? Because I know you and Kayshon are probably tight from playing so much last year together. Have you seen Kayshon's growth this offseason?
Yeah, no, Kayshon, he's doing everything he can. Obviously, he had that bad ankle injury, but no, he's been doing everything he can to get better and to get back on the field as quickly as possible. That's one of my really good friends. And yeah, no, I think, we've all been praying for him, making sure he recovers, and whenever he gets back, he's 100%. We definitely don't want him to push anything so we can have him for the season. We don't want him to come out too early, hurt himself. We definitely need to make sure he is 100% because he's one of the best wide receivers in the nation. If you just watch him play or if you look at his stats, either or, it shows. So definitely need him healthy. But yeah, he's definitely been doing everything he can to get back.
Tony Bryant, the Master Blaster. Good to see you, man. I hope you have a great season, Jack. There you go.
Appreciate you.
So, Jack, I know you have some. Are you having a lot of schoolwork that you're having to do during the spring? How are classes going? Because academics, number one thing, man. You got 2 successful parents. You got a bunch of successful people in your family. How's the schoolwork been going?
Yeah, schoolwork has been going well. Got a couple A's and a couple B's right now. That's one thing Coach Kelly is major on is academics. like our saying is graduate champions. Not only does he want us to win a NCAA championship, but not a national championship. He wants us to also graduate, and he's huge on academics, which I think is really great.
Jack Bech. Follow him on Twitter. I need everyone on PHL to go give him a follow. That's obviously huge as well. At Jack Bech 7 on
and Instagram is the same thing.
The IG, baby. IG. Let's go. Which one do you like better?
Definitely Instagram. Yeah, definitely Instagram, but I keep more of my business and my football stuff on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I kind of freely do stuff on Instagram.
Are you going to rock the turf tape again this next year? The Alvin Kamara turf tape on the...
We'll see. Coach Hank doesn't really like a lot of stuff on our arms and stuff like that, but we'll see what happens.
Wait, what's his reasoning behind that? That's so interesting.
Just like ball security.
Oh, that's cool, man. I like it. I love these little intricacies because so many people think, well, one wide receiver coach goes to a new school. No, each wide receiver coach has their own, each position coach has their own little way of doing things. So it's always very interesting.
100%.
There you go. Well, Jack Bech, we appreciate you. And here's what we'll do. We showed you a little preview of what we have going on with the Pressley Collection. Here, probably a month from now, we'll do something else, and we will fully display what Jack has going on and what I have going on with the Pressley Collection. You can go to PressleyCollection.com. You can get a good idea, Jack, of the diamonds. So really quickly, we touched on it a little bit earlier, midway through the conversation. What has this been like for you, this new name, image, and likeness opportunity that is very unique with Anthony Starr Pressley and the Pressley Collection?
Yeah, no, it's definitely been really cool. His idea is unlike any I've heard so far, and it's going to be a thing to where it's not one person. It's a good bit of players that are going to be able to, get some money out of it. So I'm really excited for what he has in store. And like we said earlier, we're just kind of getting the last details in tune and in line. But yeah, it's definitely a really, really cool idea. And like we said earlier, his website is already up with his business he has now, with all his diamonds, with his earrings, bracelets, necklaces, all that stuff. He has some really fine jewelry on there. So definitely go check that out.
PressleyCollection.com. So Jack will be on here in a few weeks and we'll actually unveil everything because we're going to be doing giveaways, the diamonds. He does price matching and all that. And I guarantee you won't find them cheaper and higher quality. PressleyCollection.com. Jack, we appreciate you. And we'll talk here in a few weeks, man.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. Have a good night.
All right, buddy. It's Jack Bech right there. PHL. So there you go. So that's just a taste, right? So he did share a little bit there at the end that this isn't going to just be Jack Bech. We're going to be working with some other potential players. And that's why, once again, we're just getting started with this PressleyCollection.com. And thanks again to Anthony Starr Pressley right there, the Diamond Master. His knowledge is absolutely insane when it comes to this stuff. So we appreciate him setting this up and using us as a vessel. Now, there were a lot of you asking a lot of questions about the actual purchasing of it. And as far as the watches are concerned, we do have an email list. So if you go to PressleyCollection.com, we can get you signed up and ready to go. You can also go to my newsletter and sign up for that, and I'll have your email, or you can email me at powerhourlsu@gmail.com, and we will be able to set everything up for you to have that opportunity. Favorite guests of the stream so far. So glad I was able to watch Bech and Boutte, my favorite players on the team. Thanks again, Carvis. I'm sorry I tried to get as many questions as I possibly could in. Jack Bech, big fan, man. Sorry, late to the live slot this year. What about tight end? He actually, we actually answered both of those questions. So once his interview is over, you'll be able to go back and get all that information. Let's see here. Can Jack do a master blaster? That would probably be the strangest thing for him. So once again, if you are new to the channel, like and subscribe. We'll definitely work out getting Jack back on here at some point. We really enjoyed having him on. Fastest Besh in the family. Hey, Short Whitetail. It's not just me. It's Star Pressley, but it's also all you. I really did mean what I said earlier. We've always been kind of big Jack Beche fans on this channel. I know Master Blaster has brought him up before as well. So we're very fortunate to have him on here to talk about LSU football and everything that is going on. And once again, Danny Girl, I appreciate you so much. You've been one of my biggest supporters. Here's what we'll do. I'll keep hanging out. Obviously, there are so many LSU football stories that we have to get to. We obviously also have a live stream tomorrow night, our normal Tuesday night live stream. But yeah, I'll keep hanging out. We'll happily keep hanging out. Trust me. Most of our live streams, if you are new, most of our live streams are just us talking about LSU football. It's not just Jack Beche. It's not just interviews. We do breakdowns. We do a lot of film breakdowns of Jack Beche. It was very interesting what he said about blocking, how much he is not opposed to getting physical and being a blocking threat. So it's really cool stuff, man. I am not a Vikings fan, Viking Jerome. I am a Chris Carter fan. So Carter, purple and gold, number 80, Jack Beche. That's why I switched it up. I hope Jay Hill didn't see this tonight because Jay Hill's jersey came down. It's still over there, though. We'll put it back up. So there you go. Thanks, Jack Heisenwatch. So I'm going to try and get to as many comments. Thank you so much, Steven. I really appreciate it. I hope you subscribe to the channel. Everyone welcome Stefan Frey to the channel. Love this photo. Looks like we're at a wedding here. Good stuff. I was at a wedding this past weekend. It was absolutely fantastic. Yeah, this was really, once again, every program, to say, with a new coach, but this is why I do feel it's a little bit different. And you guys know this channel is not a Coach Speak channel. If there is something that needs to be called out, I'll do it. All right. But I will say this. It is different than a coach just saying, well, we're going to be accountable and everyone's going to buy into the culture and blah, 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 blah. It is different, though, when you provide specificity. Okay. That's the key. Specificity. That's what I care about. Right? In life, anyone could say courage and all these broad words that don't really, in the grand scheme, mean anything. What specifically are you doing? So, for those that missed the big nugget to start this conversation, Jack went into detail about the different things that they are doing with the quote-unquote SWAT team, right? Where Brian Kelly is putting together contest and point systems for good grades, for showing up for community, just community service, helping out in the community, showing up to workouts on time, putting in the extra work, specific things, instead of just saying, well, you got to be courageous or whatever. So there you go. Look, Stefan, you got a little fan club, man. Yeah, I did heal up from that wedding. It was good seeing you this past weekend. Let's see here. Yeah, Jesse answered this question earlier. He was all in on going to Vanderbilt. That is what he said. Could you imagine that? Jack is very inspirational. Absolutely. So this is it. Father Shelton, my cousin, will be ordained Archbishop of Louisville, March 30th. He was appointed by the Vatican. There you go. So as you can see, I am far from, I'm probably like the 43rd most accomplished person in my family alive right now. As you can see, my cousin getting that pretty high honor for the Catholic Church. That's good stuff. Let's see. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And I will say this as well. Okay. I talked to Jack about this previously, about, what Star Pressley has going on. Now, as many of you know, I've shared this before on the channel. I've turned down other opportunities like this. The reason why I decided to do this with Anthony Pressley is, and this was before, any of these conversations were guaranteed. So once again, you guys know I'm very hesitant to do these kind of things. There is something a little extra about what Star has going on with these athletes, and Jack couldn't get too far into it today, and I won't get too far into it now, but we are trying to help not only build the brand, but teach young players how to grow and make generational wealth with your own name. And you'll see what Star is doing specifically that is different than other name, image, and likeness opportunities. Once again, we'll get a little bit deeper into that as we move along, because Star Pressley actually is the presenter of all our spring football coverage, as you guys have seen with our first spring practice breakdown. There will probably be another one tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. If not, we'll push it to Wednesday. So there you go. What's up, Eric? Good to see you, man. Tony! Simper, good to see you, man. Good to have Simper back around. I know there's been a whole lot going on in your life, Simper. Best to the Saints the next Cooper Cup. Hey, part of what makes Cooper Cup great is the blocking, and Jack Beche is, as you guys saw this year, a very willing blocker. So once again, you guys know, I'm not here to just sell you guys on something that I don't believe in. I actually do believe in this big time. And that was part of the reason why I was really excited about Jack Beche, because Jack, as you guys heard, is also really very excited about this. I did not ask him this specific question, Max, because I don't know, better hands. That's tough. They're two different type of wide receivers. Yeah, short draw whitetail. I'll give you a Cliff Notes version of it right here. Okay, part of growing is understanding your IP, understanding your power, right? And what Star's doing with these athletes is helping them realize that. And you hear that a lot, but he actually is doing it. And Jack referenced this as well. He went out to dinner with Anthony, and Jack also, from Anthony's phone, he called me, and we had a conversation, me, him, and Anthony, before this conversation ever even happened. So once again, Jack, one of my favorite players on the current team. Star, obviously, he's been a viewer of the channel for quite some time. It's really cool, and we touched on it some. We showed you a little preview a little bit earlier, and it's going to be really cool, and you're going to love it. You're absolutely going to love it. And here's Caucus right here, obviously very successful in the college athletics field as well. IP, that's what I mean, intellectual property. So that's obviously, we touch on that with Jack. Once again, we wanted him to feel the love and the welcome from everybody on this channel. And yeah, Jack, we'll hopefully have him on again soon, and we'll talk a little bit more about it. So there you go. Good to see Eric back in here. So there you go. Darren, I'm not going to ask him. That's let's see here. This is true as well from Danny. Ryan, Chris. So this is also pretty cool. Look at that. How cool is that? My own PHL cup. Chris, keeping me hydrated. Thank you so much, man. Mick, good to see ya. Future number 18. Jack did say he would like to wear a number 7. So Jack Beche, number 7 uniform. This was definitely my favorite guest live stream so far. I'm glad I was able to watch Kayshon Boutte, my favorite players on the team. Hopefully we'll get some more athletes on this channel. Obviously, that was a lot of fun. Obviously, it's tough to beat Jack Beche. He's, to me, top 5 player on the team. And look, it's gonna be hard. Obviously, Jack's a great interview. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Oh, congrats to you, Carvis. You're a big reason why we're here today. So, look, I had to ask about Eli Ricks. I knew Cliff was going to come at me for this. Look at it. I mean, this is just sick. This is just sick. That last little spring off that guy. I mean, watch. It's the last little. Okay, so not this one. Watch him spring off this guy on the spin move. Right here. Look at that body, man. It's just crazy, man. The body control. Love it. Jacob. Hey, look. It kind of just segued into it, right? You know, you're with the guy. You're going to battle with the guy. And then, and then, look, the players are going to feel some type of way about that. Okay. And Jack he didn't want to speak out of line, but I had to ask it, right? Because we were talking about current players and keeping up with former players. We talked about Jordan Gilbert. So there you go. So I mentioned this earlier. So Jack Beche, I'm sorry, I'm giving away my Brett Beche autograph card right here. I was going to try and get Brett to autograph it. I'm sending this to Jack. He deserves it. He definitely deserves it more than me. So yeah. So who's the next guest? It is indeed Tyron Matt. I'm kidding. I wish. Skipper had to know. You guys, I'll say this. Elias Ricks does not have many friends on this channel. Well, if anyone knows a Badger and wants to hop on, you guys know. Actually, I had his card here, the whole time. One of my favorite rookies. My lovely father gave this one for me for Christmas. There he is, just his base rookie card, PSA 10. Gotta love it, man. Gotta love it. I don't have any Elias Ricks playing cards. I don't have any Jack Beche memorabilia. I would love to just have a glove. My dream would be to get a Jack Beche game worn uniform. But as you heard, the LSU equipment staff does not give those out until you leave the school. So they hold your first touchdown and they hold your first jersey that you scored a touchdown in. I'm just saying, I would love that jersey. I would absolutely love that jersey. That was a pretty legendary catch. Elias Durant. Jaden, hey, that could happen. Very well could happen, maybe. I'd love to get Jaden Daniels on here. Let's see. Jack did talk about the strength and conditioning coach, Flint. Seeing a lot of different bodies transform. Danny, thank you for tweeting out the interview link. I really appreciate you guys. Once again, I still like what we're doing here. It's so cool. Obviously, it's very important to grow the channel. It's cool when you get these opportunities, right? It's cool when you get to interview people that you admire, and it's so cool, getting to be a part of this, right? This is just simply not true. Miles is miles ahead of the other quarterbacks. It's just not true. Number one, it's too early to tell. And number two, and that's not a shot at Miles Brennan. I just don't know how we can make that proclamation after a few practices, right? Jack spoke glowingly, of course, of all the quarterbacks, which, is what he should do as a player on the team. I just think it's going to be so hard, right, for one person to differentiate themselves from the rest of the pack. Let's see here. I could take these off now. Is my feed choppy? I couldn't. It says here it's actually good. It is guy at times. I apologize. Yeah, Cat's been with me for a while too. I think you're probably like subscriber number 200. You were very early. Clear, smooth. Oh yeah, for sure. You're going to see a lot of that. A lot of receivers throwing with quarterbacks, especially after spring. Especially if all the quarterbacks are able to maintain their health going into next year. Yeah, I've heard about this whitetail. All the different data things that are going on. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what exactly is happening with that. So yeah. But there you go. So what we'll do here is I'll answer as many questions in the next 5 minutes. I want to keep this one shorter because we are doing a live stream tomorrow night, our normal Tuesday night live stream. So I'll answer as many LSU football related questions. Obviously, this conversation tonight was all about Jack. More than anything else, getting to know Jack, learn about his story, all that good stuff. PHL for life. Let's go. Hands might be thrown in that game. You have a lot of Catholic High viewers, so I don't know if a lot of maybe I should have picked a different Jack Besh clip. I know we have some U High viewers, but we have far more Catholic. I should have pulled a Catholic High clip. He's an inspirational dude. Caucus in here tonight. Of course, Caucus is going to be in here. Wait, what late night movie are you going to see at 9:45? What kind of 10 p.m. on a weeknight, on a school night? Everyone wants to know what movie Tony's going to see. Huh? Yeah, it's the state championship game, right? God, his high school stuff is just like if he goes on, let's just say Jack Besh goes on to the NFL and has just a decent career, his high school tape is going to blow up, right? And I remember, when I started to learn more about him, because what was very interesting was Chris Hilton and Brian Thomas Jr. were so far ahead of them, far ahead of Jack in the recruiting pecking order. And LSU had JoJo Earl committed for a long period of time. And well, what happened? What happened? Well, it took a lot, right? And what's very interesting about playing wide receiver at LSU, you have to be universally great just in your own state. For instance, I think there are 2 wide receivers in the state of Louisiana that was never recruited by LSU, even before the Brian Kelly coaching search. Curtis Duvall from Iowa, Louisiana. He went to Purdue. And Xavier Thomas is, to me, one of the best players in the state of Louisiana, period. He was actually my number 1 wide receiver in this last class. To make it to LSU as a wide receiver, it's tough. I mean, Malik Neighbors getting to LSU was a minor miracle in and of itself. So there's only so many snaps. And Jack was talking about this as well. It's going to be tough for him to stay on the field just because of how talented the backups are. Now it's going to take a lot for a backup wide receiver to overtake Jack's reps. But what if Kyron Lacey this entire camp is so undeniably good that there's nothing you could do about it? So we'll see. All right, Aaron, we'll see you tomorrow back at our normal time, 8:05 Central. Emperor, you went to every St. Thomas More game. So there you go. Well, all right, guys. Thank you so much. Once again, the best thing you could do right now is once this video ends, if you found this conversation to be semi-cool, please go tweet out the link of this conversation and say, thank you, Jack, for hopping on Power Hour LSU. And that goes a long way. That lets Jack knows that he really appreciated the conversation. So that is key. If you could go do that right now, that is absolutely critical. Also, PressleyCollection.com. You can learn more about the diamond match price. Look, I was blown away by Anthony Starr Pressley in his presentation when he and I were conversating about doing stuff on the channel. I don't have an extensive history in jewelry. So once again, it goes a long way. Anthony Starr Pressley. Jack's Twitter handle is Jack Beche 7. Okay, once again, that's Jack Beche 7. So once again, we thank our friends as always. All of our spring practice coverage is being pushed here by PressleyCollection.com. PressleyCollection.com. It's very simple. PRESSLEY collection.com. It's good stuff. 49 years, 28 years. That's good. Gotta love it. Tomorrow night, I'll give you the real correct take on the Will Smith and Chris Rock situation. So there's a cliffhanger for you. It is Power Hour LSU. Boom. And tonight, we're doing Trout tonight. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.